Hi, Anna. I am so glad it is finally Friday. Do you have any exciting plans for the weekend?
Hi, Leo. I have very special plans, actually. It is one of my favorite weekends of the entire year.
Oh, really? That sounds very intriguing. Is it your birthday? Or a special anniversary?
No, nothing like that. It is a family tradition. This weekend is our family's annual first day of autumn apple pie baking day.
An apple pie baking day? That sounds absolutely delicious and very cozy. I have never heard of a tradition like that before.
It is the best tradition. It is something I've been doing since I was a very little girl, and I look forward to it every single year. It marks the official start of the autumn season for my family.
That is a really unique and charming way to celebrate a change in the seasons. I am very interested to hear more about it. So please explain this tradition to me. Is it just you and your parents who bake pies?
Oh no, it is a much bigger event than that. The whole family gets involved. When I say the whole family, I mean everyone.
Everyone. Who is included in everyone?
My parents and I go, of course. My grandparents host the event at their house, and my aunts, my uncles, and all of my cousins come too. It is a huge, loud, and wonderful family gathering. We all spend the entire day together, just focused on one single mission.
And that mission is to bake apple pies. How many pies do you actually make?
That is a good question. It depends on how many people come, but we usually make at least 10 or 12 large pies. Everyone gets to take a whole pie home with them at the end of the day.
That is an incredible amount of pie. It sounds like a professional bakery. How did this wonderful tradition get started? Was it your idea?
No, it started a very long time before I was born. It was actually started by my great-grandmother, so my grandmother's mother.
Wow. So this tradition has been in your family for 4 generations. That is amazing.
It is. My great-grandparents bought a small piece of land and built a house many, many years ago. On their land, they planted a small apple orchard with about 20 apple trees.
So your family has its own apple orchard? That is so cool.
Yes, and my grandparents still live in that same house and take care of those same trees. So my great-grandmother started the tradition as a way to celebrate the apple harvest at the end of the season. It was a way to use all of the delicious apples and also a way to bring the whole family together.
What a beautiful story. It makes the tradition even more special. So, what does the day look like? What is the first thing you do?
The first thing we do is the most important part. We have to get the apples. We do not go to the supermarket to buy them.
Of course not. You go to your own private orchard to pick them.
Exactly. So, in the morning, after we have all had a cup of tea, my grandfather gives everyone a big wicker basket. Then, the entire family goes out into the orchard together.
That sounds like a scene from a movie. It must be so beautiful in the autumn.
It is. The air is cool and crisp. The leaves on the trees are starting to turn yellow and orange, and the smell of the fresh apples is just incredible. We all have a lot of fun searching for the best, ripest apples to pick. The little kids love trying to climb the trees to reach the highest ones.
So you spend the morning picking your own apples? That sounds like a lot of fun. What happens after you have filled all of your baskets?
After the baskets are full, we all go back inside to the kitchen. And that is when the real work and the real fun begins. The first step is to make the dough for the pie crust.
Is that a difficult process? I have never made a pie crust from scratch before. I usually just buy the frozen ones from the store.
It can be a little tricky, but my grandmother is the world's expert. She has a special, secret family recipe for her pie crust. It is the best you have ever tasted. It is so flaky and buttery.
A secret recipe? How exciting! Does she let anyone help her?
Yes, that is part of the tradition. She gathers all the youngest children around the big kitchen table. She shows them how to measure the flour and how to cut the cold butter into the flour with their fingers. It makes a huge mess, but they love it.
It sounds like a wonderful way to pass down the family secrets from one generation to the next. So, while the children are making a mess with the dough, what is everyone else doing?
Everyone else is on apple duty. We form a big assembly line to prepare the filling for the pies.
An apple assembly line? I like the sound of that. What are the different jobs?
The first job is peeling. A few people are in charge of peeling the skin off all the apples. The next job is coring and slicing. They cut the apples into thin, uniform slices. And my job, the most important job in my opinion, is the spicing.
The spicing. What does that involve?
I am in charge of the secret spice blend. I mix the apple slices in a giant bowl with sugar and a special mix of spices. It is mostly cinnamon and nutmeg, but there is also a little bit of allspice and a tiny pinch of cardamom.
The kitchen must smell absolutely amazing at this point.
It is the best smell in the world. It is the official smell of autumn for me.
This is such a well-organized process. Everyone has a role to play.
Yes, and after all the preparation is done, we start to assemble the pies. And this is when another little special tradition happens.
There is a tradition within the tradition? Please, tell me more.
So we make about a dozen normal pies, but each year we also make one extra large special pie that we call the wishing pie.
The wishing pie? What is that?
It is just a very big apple pie, but before my grandmother puts the top layer of crust on it, she gives everyone a tiny piece of paper and a tiny pencil. We all have to write down one wish for the coming year. It can be a wish for health, for happiness, for success, anything you want.
And what do you do with the little pieces of paper?
We fold them up very small. Then we put each wish inside a tiny, heat-proof metal capsule. My grandmother then mixes all the little capsules into the apple filling. So when the pie is baking, all of our family's wishes are baking inside it.
That is one of the most charming and lovely things I have ever heard. A pie full of wishes. That is so special.
It is. It is my favorite part of the day. It is a very hopeful and optimistic ritual.
So after all the pies are assembled, they go into the oven. And then comes the hardest part, I imagine, the waiting.
The waiting is very difficult, especially with the amazing smell filling the entire house. But we have a big family lunch while the pies are baking, so that keeps us busy.
And then, after the pies are perfectly baked and golden brown, comes the best part of the whole day.
You know it. The best part is, of course, eating the pie. We let them cool down for a little while. Then, in the evening, my grandfather cuts the first slice from the wishing pie.
And how do you eat it? Do you have it with anything?
Oh, yes. The only way to eat warm apple pie is with a very large scoop of vanilla ice cream on top. The way the cold ice cream melts into the warm, spicy apples is just heavenly.
You are making me so hungry right now. It sounds like a perfect day, not just because of the delicious food, but because of the whole experience.
It really is the experience. The pie is wonderful, but the real purpose of the day is to be together as a family.
I think having family traditions like this is so incredibly important. It is something that you can all look forward to, and it creates such strong bonds between everyone.
I agree. It connects the different generations. My grandmother is teaching my little cousins the same things that her mother taught her. It is a way of keeping our family history and our stories alive.
And I am sure you will have amazing memories of this tradition for your entire life.
I already do. My own family did not have a big tradition like that. But we did have a small one. Every year, on the first snowy day of the winter, my dad would make his special hot chocolate for us, and we would watch a movie together.
See, that is a wonderful tradition too. It does not have to be a big event. It is just about doing something special and consistent together.
That is very true. It is the consistency that makes it a tradition.
Well, your apple pie day sounds like the best tradition in the world. I think you are very lucky to have a family that does something so special together.
Thank you, Leo. I know I am very lucky. I feel very grateful for it every year. I am already so excited for tomorrow. I cannot wait to be in my grandparents' kitchen, smelling the cinnamon and apples.
I hope you have the most wonderful time. Please take lots of photos so you can show me next week.
I will. Actually, I have an idea. Since you have been so interested in my story, and since you have been such a good listener, I would like you to be able to taste the tradition for yourself.
What do you mean?
I will save you a very large slice of our famous family apple pie, and I will bring it to work for you on Monday. Would you like that?
Would I like that? That would be the best start to a Monday in history. Thank you so much, Anna. That is an incredibly kind offer.